Okay, so you're not going to spit on the monitor
I
again?
swear.
Okay, we're recording this on my laptop, and let's just get our names out of the way. Hi, my name is Jeff, and this guy is Matt here. Okay, but yeah, so this is probably the, third or fourth vlog we've technically recorded?
We've tried before, and thanks to me, we've failed.
Well, I don't know. Do you have any of the other attempts?
I might have like some of them somewhere.
Oh, I know you still have. We recorded vlogs for Victor Frankenstein, Krampus. Those are the few we actually know. That we also tried one for Dracula Untold way back, but you
I think
lost that.
Yeah, I think the ones I have are I might have Krampus still, and I know I have Victor Frankenstein still.
Okay, so chances are if we post this, you may be getting to see that eventually.
Those will be one of the lost episodes.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to
Senator,
There we Anyway, let's get into the movie we're going to talk about now, which is Hardcore Henry. First time we actually, I think I saw a little bit about this when on Facebook when it was just called Hardcore, and it was advertised as this found footage action film, but what I didn't know is it's less found footage and more like a first person action movie.
Yeah, it does give you kind of the feel of like an FPS type video game.
Yeah, like Call of Duty. Well,
what I'm kind of getting more of is maybe not Serious Sam, but just. But I don't know. I'm kind of getting like the kind of vibe you'd get from. I'm trying to think. What's the one Japanese director who did Versus?
No, Ryuhei Kitamura.
That's the one. Yeah, that's him. I'm getting kind of that kind of tone.
Yeah.
From it. Granted, except with the main thing being the whole thing shot on. I'm guessing a GoPro or something.
Or something similar. They did a music video for this movie. I'm spacing on the band's name right now, but there's a song called "I Am Overkill," and the director Ian Nishuler, who made Hardcore Henry, like he directed a few music videos for them in the same style as the movie, where it's all this GoPro-y first-person action scene.
Everybody's running around and just messing each other up.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's science fiction-y elements, and
lots of shit talking.
Well, over music, but mostly.
I don't know. Well, let's not forget one of our favorite lines. You're a half machine, half pussy. And then he just runs away.
Yep, just kind of zip lines down a building into a dumpster full of trash. And
so basically, shit talk.
But I really liked Hardcore Henry.
I loved it.
I think it's like this year's answer to something like The Raid 2, or even I know last year I saw Chappie, and this kind of reminds me of that, but because it has Charlton Copley in it as basically Henry's, I want to say sidekick, but he's a little more than that.
He's kind of a little bit of a mentor.
Yeah,
as well.
His shtick is this sort of Peter Sellers-ish, like his character gets killed off, but in true video game fashion, he's got extra lives, which translate into these biomechanical clones or copies of him, but they're not all the same person. Like it's
you find that out like later on in the film.
Like,
but then again, okay, so clearly this will be spoilers. I mean, one of us will drop like a spoiler warning right at the beginning.
Well, I don't know. Let's start off from the top. Well, for one, our title character Henry, or Hardcore Henry, might as well be his name. Like he's basically less a human character and more like a special effect, really. Kind of. So it's like
he's a special effect / camera angle.
Yeah, he's basically just a camera angle with hands and arms and.
Be like if hold on.
Oh, we going back? Going back?
No. You're staying there.
No, you. So what are you?
Here's the view of the entire movie. Can you see my hands?
Nope. Raise them.
Okay. Can you?
Yep, I can see him.
This is the entire movie. Punch. But of course, way better. Way better than, that stupid joke I just made.
If we actually did plan that joke out, you should have brought that fake blood that you could just swallow and then spit out.
Oh, yeah. And I still got those little tubes from, Spirit Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got all the clearance stuff way back.
Yeah.
Well, not way back. Like, this is maybe like a year.
But yeah. I mean, immediately when this movie starts, I mean, here's the opening shot. It's basically three young bullies, like, with like a robot toy they stole from this kid off screen, and they throw it and break it, but then they get scared off by the kid's dad. To
which he responds, and you find out more, you get more context for it.
The kid, who is actually little Henry, his dad is Tim Roth with a presumably American accent, because then we just hear him go, "You little," and then he just comes into camera frame, and then that's when he...
Pussy.
Yeah, this movie starts out by calling you a pussy. Just Tim Roth, like, leaning into the camera, like his weather-beaten face, pussy. You little pussy. And then it immediately cuts to this James Bond-esque opening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of James Bond-like.
But instead of naked, like, inky, sort of shadowy ladies dancing, no, it's just
random. Yeah, it's just random acts of horrible, gruesome violence that we can assume happened to Henry afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's it.
Or he inflicted, or happened.
Oh, I thought they, this is the stuff that happened to him.
Like, that led to him becoming...
Yeah.
Like...
Where you end up right after that, and he's on the table, and
So, all that stuff, like him getting shot close range in the gut, having a brick thrown in his head, having his face shoved into a baseball bat, with the movie's title, like, engraved into the bat, just, for effect, and then also being stabbed through the throat with the serrated Bowie knife, and then...
Only to have it come out the other end of his neck.
Also having his gut cut open with a broken bottle. What else am I missing?
The whole movie, a good chunk of the movie is us just going...
So you're saying all of that happened to Henry, like, right before the woman who looks kind of like Jennifer Lawrence, who says she's his wife, wakes him up?
That's what I read, at least, from it.
And I bet you actually thought, that actress does look like Jennifer Lawrence.
I kind of did. Like, I didn't place it at first, but once you said it, I can see that.
To be honest, like, we both first got our first full glimpse of the movie in front of Deadpool, which...
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah, I was even watching that going, and then reading up on this movie thinking, the basic premise for this whole entire movie is basically... It sounds kind of like Deadpool, doesn't it? I mean, a guy is a subject to some kind of secret...
And then goes on a rampage.
Yeah, it goes on a rampage, and presumably it's all motivated to get his spouse, his wife, or girlfriend back from this, like, maniacal supervillain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did. But but the thing I like about it is it kind of defies that expectation where... do you
want to skip ahead to the very end, or do you want to wait a little bit?
Well, let me just air this one out. After I watched this, I actually thinking about it more, I kind of like this movie more than Deadpool. I don't know.
Well,
you like Deadpool a lot.
I loved them both, but for me they're slightly different categories.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about this movie's production history, so, and I'm certain, like, there are people maybe on the internet or somewhere who are commenting like, it makes sense because this movie's basically Russian Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I forget. You just reminded me. I got a basic description of this movie. This movie is English and Russian and on fire all at the same time.
Yep, put it on the back of the DVD.
English, Russian, on fire all at the same time.
TwoCreepyBeardedGuys.com.
We have a website now? We will one day.
Well, I registered it already.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
I was gonna tell you about it, but yeah, I did. Just wanted to run it up a flagpole and see who salutes it, but it's trying to get into frame now. But
there's not much room.
You're just doing the impression of that one Charles Tokopy's one
clone
or sort of English doughboy clone. Like that's the thing about Charles Tokopy's character. For one, he's in terms of acting, he has top billing in this movie, which even though he's kind of like the movie's side character, and even in terms of action movies, you're thinking like, okay, well, we're pretty much gonna say like, oh man, that side character was way more interesting than the lead character, so like kind of makes sense to give him top billing, but it also, again, keep in mind like Henry, he's not seen, and also his vocal cords. His speech module isn't connected the whole time. So yeah, he's completely mute throughout the movie. So again, adds to the whole special effect as character in this movie. So I don't know. I think I can even say this is the closest thing rivaling, say, a monster movie where it's just the special effect driving the film. Mostly. Right, like, well, in the terms of like a Godzilla type film where you're well, it kind of depends on the Godzilla film, of course, but where one of your biggest characters, and in this case, the protagonist, is achieved mainly through special effect. Right. So, yeah, I mean, like, so Charles Tokopy has top billing in this movie because he's on screen for more than the main character. Like, he's way more present in this, and even still, he gets some time to shine in this movie with all the different versions of his character. Just the Jimmy character, there's like a really meek, sort of bookish type who's wearing a sweater vest. Then there's the really drunken, like, whoremongering. There's a coke fiend version of him. He's got, like, crazy hair and, like, mutton chops. And at one point, like, Henry, his battery is running low, so he had to kill this one guy named Slick Dimitri and pull it out of him so he could have Jimmy put it back into him. And he does that by heading over to a local Russian whorehouse where just wall-to-wall full of just women in identical blonde wigs and panties, and just like and then eventually to a back room where wild-haired Jimmy... before that you forgot the one guy. Right? Oh right, the guy I think I'm a fucking car, baby. Okay, basically he's on his back on the ground with his legs in the air, and two of the hookers are just kind of pushing his feet down like pedals. I don't get it. Neither do I. How does the people on the internet? You're more perverted than us. Like, could you explain? Do you really want someone to explain that to you? Are you sure? Maybe. But. All right. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and the thing about this version of the Jimmy character is like when they get the news that the main villain named Akan's men just kind of barge into the place like looking for Henry. Like that's when like coked out Jimmy's wearing his tiger man panties. He's got like a dragon tattoo on his abdomen and. Oh yeah, like his whole torso. There's a flying dragon on his chest. He just whips out a pair of guns, clanks them together. Going to war! They're going to war, baby. Then he just kicks down the door and just right as he's doing this, he kind of struts off, and you can, even though the music is blaring at this point in the soundtrack, you can almost hear the Austin Powers theme going off in his head.
He's got kind of like the same chops or sideburns.
Yeah.
So, you could kind of draw that comparison too. Oh, and then let's not forget, it's like, there's a couple more in the drawer. There's a couple more guns in the drawer. And he goes over
drawer, dicks.
Top drawer, dildos, anal beads, that kind of crap. Looks over. The hooker's just like, oh, one down. It's like, oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then back to crazy action.
Yep. Oh man, and even in that whole span of time, like just one of the craziest strip club shootouts. Plus, like dominatrixes wielding katanas.
Oh yeah.
And also, the main character gets a prostitute thrown at him, like Super Mario Brothers 2 style, throwing another character at another character. Only this time it's a naked chick and
being thrown by a psychic. I don't know what you would call just psychic supervillain. Yeah,
or psychic war. Basically, let's talk a little bit about the main villain, Akon. I'll say that the actor who plays him, like, I kind of feel like, why wasn't this guy cast as Lex Luthor in Batman versus Superman?
I could totally see that.
Because, I mean, I after having watched that, like, I won't talk, well, I don't know, could I piggyback a Batman versus Superman review into this?
Well, we don't want to go too long with this.
Okay, let's try to make this quick. Basically, everything you hear about Ben Affleck's Batman is well, yeah, he is actually pretty good as Batman. Like he
can attest as I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, but I mean everything else is
myself of all wrongdoing. I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I'm just absorbing all the flames or pissiness. But anyway, but yeah, like honestly, I never saw Man of Steel, and what everyone's saying about Man of Steel isn't really encouraging me to go see it, so I just went into Batman vs. Superman watching it specifically for Ben Affleck as Batman and just Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. So and oddly enough, they were the two characters who really shined throughout that, and even from the trailers, like, I can attest that this movie kind of puts me in the pro-Batman camp. And, I mean, it's just because Superman's... I don't want to say he's a dick, but he just kind of seems like... Well, yeah, pretty much everything. Like,
is there, just not too much to him, at least?
Yeah. Let me put it this way. I think Christopher Reeve's Superman, like... There's, like, just such a lovable quality to him when he's playing Clark Kent and as Superman. Like, he kind of conveys that wholesomeness about the character. And
you can make, a wholesome Superman.
Oh, yeah. And
you can make him interesting.
Yeah. But the thing is, this one, it seems fueled by this whole Ayn Rand quality. Like, oh, if you have, like... Oh, jeez. Like, if you have enough money or power or just are really athletically built, you can just get away with anything. I don't know if that's a good interpretation of Ayn Rand's messages, but again, this is coming from someone who, and I'll admit, I haven't read a single one. Again, Man of Steel, nothing about... I haven't heard good things, so... Except from Penn Jillette, from what I've heard. But
oh, really? Penn Jillette is super into Man of Steel?
No, I meant Ayn Rand.
Oh! I'm completely missing things.
Anyway,
like, really? Penn Jillette really likes Man of Steel. How about that?
You know what? Yeah, let's go with that. But anyway... Getting back to Hardcore Henry, a movie that I recommend a lot more than Batman vs. Superman. The only way I can recommend Batman vs. Superman is just if they, tone down the Superman parts and then re-edit it into this lost or misplaced Michael Keaton Batman movie, but they got, Ben Affleck to play him.
And maybe Wonder Woman shows up.
Yeah, and... You know what? Here's my view of it. It's a Michael Keaton Batman sequel that isn't as good as the last two, or depending on your taste. But yeah, it's not as good as the last two, but it's a Michael Keaton Batman movie where it's more focused on the superheroes rather than the villains. Because, well, again, Lex Luthor's the only antagonist, and then Jesse Eisenberg is basically playing Heath Ledger's Joker, Lex Luthor. So, which I'll use to tie in back to the actor in Hardcore Henry who plays Akon. He's kind of quirky like Eisenberg's Lex, but I don't know. There is just a really menacing, and you're just supposed to hate this guy.
Which is impressive that he's getting menacing while looking like Andy Warhol.
And doing goofy, really just eye-rolling goofy shit. Like he just kind of...
Oh yeah, the jacking off the bat.
Yeah, just takes
taking out a baseball bat and pretending it like it's his dong.
Just you know who else he reminds me of, and this ties back to Heath Ledger. But you remember, who was it? Brad Dourif in Death Machine.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I can see a lot of that. I can see a lot of Brad Dourif in this guy's performance.
Just imagine Brad Dourif's character in Death Machine, just with
white hair, whitish
blonde hair,
and a Russian accent,
and slightly Russian accent because I don't
vaguely Eastern European, like maybe he's from Ukraine or something.
Well, according to I might as well just bring this out. When I first saw Hardcore Henry, they were handing out these.
It's comics. A prequel comic.
Yeah, the Hardcore Akon comic, and basically it's just the origin story for Akon, and there's a message from the director in it saying that he didn't want to focus too much on his origin because really that's, I don't know, the movie's not really too much of an origin thing, and plus that info can just kind of bog down a movie. So he just put it into a nice, convenient comic book. But like, if you did get the comic book, I don't know, did it kind of ruin the movie for you if you read it before, or you were able to pick up on certain twists? Because I have to admit, when I first saw it, I kind of picked up a little bit that either I was hoping for it or I just picked up that, again, spoilers, that Henry's supposed wife is actually Akon's wife. Like, the Estelle character is basically Akon's wife, and I don't know, this goes back to Deadpool, where like his girlfriend, I'm talking about Deadpool's girlfriend in that movie, is like, you get the sense that like, it's kind of doing that same plot where she loves him and so she's trying to help him get better, but at the same time you're wondering, like, I don't know, like, because I remember seeing a lot of advanced trailers for Deadpool where I'm trying to remember the actress's name who was in Deadpool, but like, I saw her, like, where it seems to imply that her character turned out to be evil in that movie. And
what, you think like there was a kind of a last minute reshoot or something?
Yeah, like, and I heard they did do that for Deadpool, like they reshot some stuff. And
well, also it kind of worked out nice, because
also I think her character in that movie was supposed to be a mutant. Or she has mutant powers, so I don't know. Maybe that's something they're saving for Deadpool 2. So,
like they're going to pull an Austin Powers Part 2 at the beginning. It's like, well, I'm single now again.
And it goes back to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, like, the twist in this movie being, like, towards the end that, like, the Estelle character is basically Akon's wife, and she's really the hidden secondary villain in this movie along with Akon, and it seems like she's the one who's kind of running this mostly, at least in terms of the power she now has, where they're just going to upload Henry's memories of,
the beginning scene on the table and putting him back together and like, you don't remember me, but I'm your wife thing for every single cyborg soldier that they built.
And he gets to fight all of them at the end, with Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now" playing.
That was just beautiful.
Oh yeah, just a cyborg just being thrown into like a fan, and then
Take your pick of things that cyborgs were thrown into in this entire movie.
Yep.
Just shit gets messed up.
Oh yeah. Well, if it wasn't already messed up, because
I mean, he also progressively gets stronger in the last couple minutes.
yeah.
Because first cyborg that comes after him, first of the new crop of cyborgs. After he just barely finishes him off, he opens up his chest, takes out his battery for lack of a better term. He's got a better battery. He puts in the battery into him.
Just charges up, and you see his fist go.
He's just
Yeah.
like he's going Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
But and then afterwards, he goes even further with it. He sees a med kit lying on the ground when all these guys are coming after him.
With 2 little packs of adrenaline.
And he just takes both of them, pops the top off, flips him around, jams them into his femoral artery.
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me.
Because I'm having a good time. Wham! Just wrecking everyone's shit.
Oh, man.
And there's a bunch of stuff we glossed over. That's fine, because you're going to want to see it all.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
We're just being goofy so we can at least make just a little bit of a half. We promised we wouldn't do. We going with the. You see, I can't form words anymore. Just go see it. And I don't know. Let's just run off a few things that I don't know if we did we mention if we had any problems with it, because I know you felt the first person thing was a little disorienting.
That's only in a few parts where it gets really frantic, and I honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably the point.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get a little frantic to make you feel like you're actually in a fight.
But I don't know. You play way more FPS games than I do, or at least a little more.
I used to.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's really occasional now.
I don't know if I can't say. I'm not sure if somebody who usually likes those games or plays them would like the movie more if it was just them watching this, or maybe it's because you expect that from the movie, or if if you don't and you're probably not going to buy this at all. I honestly, I don't play a lot of video games. I just don't, unless you count Game Boy and TurboGrafx, which was just.
Oh, you had a TurboGrafx?
Well, my brother had a TurboGrafx.
Ever play Splatterhouse?
No, I never.
Oh yeah, because the first time you played Splatterhouse was the newer version when we went over to my home.
During that one test run where the character is running around with the sawed-off shotgun,
we referenced an old joke we had from when I picked up the game Splatterhouse, and one of the weapons you can get in Splatterhouse is a shotgun. So, and of course, I kind of semi-referenced something like, "How do I do my violence? Volume, volume, volume," and he referenced that during the first shotgun scene, because
or towards the end when he breaks into that guard station and there's all those shotguns lined up there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you want to wrap this up real quick?
Yeah. But yeah,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay, well,
go see Hardcore Henry.
Yep, go see it.
Okay, go.
Okay. Off.
Off.
Are you sure you want it off?